Hello, St. Vincent's friends and families. I'm back with another African folk tale. This one is called The Hatseller and the Monkeys. Very colorful. Let's see what this African folk tale is all about. Ba Musa, the hat seller, was a joyful man. He traveled from town to town selling hats, which he piled high on his head. Himani ko kadisa, he sang, which means, what a wonderful business hat selling is. Beautiful hat, so colorful. Ever since he was a little boy, Ba Musa made and sold hats. His grandparents and his own parents were hat makers, and they taught him to do this at a very young age. After each harvest, the whole family would venture out to the fields to collect rice stalks, from which they made wide-brim debris hats to sell. During the rainy season, they embroidered close-fitting fugalan caps with intricate patterns of brightly colored threads. Working hard to make their beautiful hats. Though his joyful spirit and hard work, Ba Musa had become very well known in the neighborhood towns. Wherever he arrived with his hats piled high on his head, children would follow him and sing along as he sang his favorite song, Himani ko kadisa. This is the story of how Ba Musa learned an important secret for success. Wonder what kind of secret to success he's gonna learn. Let's find out. One day, Ba Musa heard that a great festival was to take place in a neighboring town. There he could sell more hats than he'd ever sold before. He spent many days making hats for this event. To get to the festival by evening, he began his journey in the early morning. But he was in such a hurry, he did not eat any breakfast. Halfway to town, Ba Musa grew so tired and hungry, he had to stop and rest under a shady mango tree. He unloaded the hats from the top of his head and put them on the ground next to him. Then he covered his face with one as a blind shade to keep the sun from his eyes. Ba Musa soon fell asleep and began to snore loudly. Little did Ba Musa know that the fruit from this tree attracted monkeys. Ba Musa's snoring alerted them to his company. So his snoring alerted the monkeys that there was company under their mango tree. The monkeys are so cute. As usual, monkeys are very curious and smart, and they crept down from the tree, yoli, 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 quietly, and sneaked around Ba Musa. Being attracted to the colorful hats, each monkey selected one. Then they climbed back up to the tree and imitated Ba Musa, covering their faces and snoring. Tee 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 tee. They're laughing at Ba Musa snoring. are these curious monkeys and Bamusa sleeping with his hats next to him. Oh no, what are these monkeys up to? Soon, Bamusa awoke from his sleep, rested but hungry, eager to continue his journey. He looked for his hats, but where were they? Had they been stolen? Frantically, Bamusa called for help. He-num, he-mum, he cried. I wonder who he's calling for help. There's the monkeys up in the tree, and they all have little hats on. When the monkeys heard this, they answered him. Hoo, 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 hoo. Look at this monkey with the hat on. How cute. And the butterflies, the mangoes. Bamusa looked up and realized what had happened. But he was so hungry, he could not think clearly what to do. He raised his arms in the air. He yelled. The monkeys stared down at him and replied, whoop, 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 shaking their arms wildly. Here's the monkeys shaking their arms wildly. Bamusa threw a dead branch at them, hoping to scare them off. But the monkeys merely threw leaves at him in return. Here's him throwing the stick, and the monkeys are throwing the leaves. This book is getting good. What's going on? When Bamusa picked up a stone and threw it into the tree, the monkeys picked mangoes and threw them down at Bamusa. Monkeys throwing mangoes. By this time, Bamusa was faint with hunger, and so he collected the fruit and sat down to eat. He ate until his stomach was full. Now Bamusa could think clearly. Now he knew what he must do. What do you guys think he's gonna do? What's Bamusa gonna do? He removed the only hat he had left from his head and shook it up in the air at the monkey, shouting, "He manun, he manun." All the monkeys did the same, grabbing the hats off their heads, howling, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." Bamusa dropped his hat to the ground, and all the monkeys dropped their hats. That was smart. The monkeys are imitating what Bamusa is doing. It's one way to get his hats back. Without losing a second, Bamusa collected all his hats, stacked them back on top of his head, and rushed to his destination. He arrived not a moment too soon. So great was Bamusa's happiness from his recent luck that his spirit of goodwill helped sell all of his hats. And so it was that Bamusa learned from the monkeys, it is with a full stomach that one thinks best. For an empty satchel cannot stand. Smart monkeys. Bamusa and the smart monkeys. All right. That's the end of The Hatseller and the Monkeys. I really enjoyed this book. Smart monkeys, huh? I hope you guys enjoyed it also, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.